Hey, it's iEmpire here, volume 34 of Nintendo Switch Hidden Gems. Thanks for stopping by the channel today. As usual, got 5 great games, and we'll start it off with Lunar Remastered Collection. So it has 2 complete games on it. It's got Silver Star Story and Eternal Blue, and these are 2 epic fantasy RPGs back from the PS1 era. And if you know what, all these games are just getting more and more expensive and harder to find for the PS1, so it's fantastic. We have an opportunity to play these. Generally speaking, the import version like I have here is going to be less expensive than the NTSC version, just so you're aware of that if you're looking to buy a copy. The games were really innovative in the day because they were one of the few ones to first push the full motion video cutscenes and also to have, in an RPG, voiced characters in the game. The second game has a lot more voice acting than the first one. The title's also really focused on adventure and storytelling and has more of a, let's say, I guess, basic or generic turn-based dungeon crawling combat. And you do things like visit towns, keep up with your gear, manage your inventory. It's got a really likable cast of characters, fantastic stories, and really cool locations you're going to visit throughout the game. So lastly, you play it either in the original, which is just as the game was on the PS1 except for new voice acting, or remastered, where you've got some improvement on the graphics, animations, and in the full motion video cutscenes. So here's a trailer for Lunar Remastered Collection.
Dodge this! Yeah! Blessing of Althena! Lady Luck be kind. Come to race! Wishing on a dream that seems.
All right, up next is Beyond Ice Palace 2, and this is a retro action platformer as a sequel to the 1988 original title. No, none of us have played this game. That's a long time ago. But this has a real Castlevania look and feel to it, and has a really interesting story. So the king has been recently crowned after defeating a witch of the palace. Shortly after that, he's hit by a cursed arrow, puts him into a deep sleep, and the kingdom is overrun by a demon army. The king is bound by chains and is saved by sages, and it's the story of the king's revenge. So the chains that the king is bound up in are actually act as his weapons during the game, and it also serves to allow him to reach higher places and in some puzzle solving. So the game does introduce some new mechanics, combat mechanics throughout the game, and there's a leveling system for his abilities that you get through these power crystals, and it makes exploration in the game pretty important because most often the power crystals are hidden throughout secret areas. It's got challenging combat, but there's several save points in the game. It's got a good variety of enemies. It's got great atmosphere and a lot of cool locations to visit. So here's the trailer for Beyond Ice Palace 2.
After 35 years, a classic returns. Beyond the Ice Palace 2. Take up the mantle of the Cursed King in an epic quest of vengeance, exploration, and power. Traverse a treacherous world shrouded in danger. Your chains, once a symbol of imprisonment, are now a tool of liberation. Slash, strike, and eviscerate any who dare stand in your way. Each swing is a show of your strength, a step closer to vengeance. Gather elusive power crystals and artifacts. Strategically enhance your abilities. Stand against colossal demons that plague your lands. Each battle is a test of precision and strategy. Piece together fragments of the sacred arrow. Purge the curse that binds you and reclaim your throne. The fate of the kingdom rests in your hands. Beyond the Ice Palace 2.
All right, our next title is Hotline Miami Collection. This has two complete titles on it, Hotline Miami and Wrong Number, and these are top-down action titles. And the two games play pretty much the same. Basically, it has a twin stick feel to them, and it's brutal, fast-paced combat in the form of brawler or shooter. And the goal is simple: to get in, take out targets, and get out alive. And it does take some planning and some strategy. Otherwise, you can get taken out super quick in this game. One hit, one shot, you can be dead. You need to be thinking a step or two ahead on the locations of the enemies. The second game added masks to the mix, where depending on the mask that you wear, it will give you different perks. So your playthroughs can give you different gameplay based on that factor. But really fun gameplay, chaotic action. Highly recommend you check these titles out if you never have. So here's the trailer for Hotline Miami Collection. Up next is a really interesting title called Dwarf, and this is a mix of tower defense and action adventure. It's basically a really violent game with a cutesy art style to it. So you play as a young dwarf named Dwarf, say that fast, and he is out determined to find his mother. It's really dangerous because trolls are hunting the dwarves. His grandfather knows he's not going to listen, so he teaches him ancient war techniques in order to protect himself. Right after that, trolls attack the city, burn it down. Now it's up to Dwarf to save the city and find his mother. So the tower defense portion of the game, you're going to deal with that when you have hordes of enemies coming at you from every direction. And there's a nice variety of enemies in this game. And you're going to mostly use a lot of turrets and traps in the game. And they have a health meter on them, so you may need to repair or replace them. And you get things like blades, arrows, spikes. And as you progress in the game, you can make them more powerful, or you get new weapons in the game. You get things like axes that'll spin around, or electric, or fire that is even more deadly to the enemies. The game requires a lot of strategy and ability to adapt as the battle unfolds in the game. Dwarf himself has a boomerang and has a dodge ability when he gets involved in combat. And when not in combat, Dwarf explores different areas. There's some stealth sections and also some puzzles that he solves. Visually, it has a Link to the Past look to it, and has nice detail and environments and in the enemies. Also has some nice lighting effects. So really cool title that offers a lot of different variety in gameplay. So here's a trailer for Dwarf.
Used to live in the mountain, in great big cities, until they were pushed out. Over time, history became myth. Dad! Armed with turrets and traps, adventure into dungeons crawling with bloodthirsty trolls. Monstrous creatures.
Alright, now for our last title, which is a really great shooter called Crossout Resurfaced. And this is a underwater shooter that is a remake of a Commodore 64 title. And you take on enemies in underwater environments and submarines in this game. So, see if I can explain this good. So, in this game, you can have up to 4 subs, but you've got limited resources, and every sub acts as your continues. Once you go through all your subs, it's game over. So with limited resources, it's up to you how you want to deck out your subs. You know, if you want to have more powerful subs and some less powerful, totally up to you, your own customization. But there are no weapon or health upgrades in the game. Enemies in the game look great. They're a mixture between sea creatures and robot tech. Game looks fantastic. It's got redrawn animations and enemies and environments, and it's got animated backgrounds. You can play this game single player or co-op. It includes a mirror mode where you can play the game in reverse. Adds a nice replay value to it. Just real simple, straightforward gameplay with a solid challenge. Highly recommend it. So here's the trailer for Crossout Resurfaced. Alright, that's it for Volume 34 of Nintendo Switch Hidden Gems. Hope you enjoyed the game selection today. If you found any titles you want to add to your collection based on this video, if you throw me a like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. So until then, take care, may you be blessed, and I am out of here. See you on the next one.